London, 1940. Air raid sirens cut through the air. The city is under bombardment. Amidst the chaos, a man calmly walks into a military base. In his hands, not a weapon, but a deck of cards. His name, Jasper Maskelyne. As bombs fall, he makes a proposal that makes the officers think he's gone mad. I can make entire cities disappear. I can create armies from nothing. I can fool Hitler using magic. This is not a work of fiction. This is the true account of how a theatre magician became one of the most secret and lethal weapons of World War II. Picture this, you're a German pilot. Your mission is to bomb the port of Alexandria, one of the largest Allied ports in the Mediterranean. You have the exact coordinates. The port is right there, or should be. But when the bombs fall, something impossible happens. You discover you've bombed a phantom port. The real port, with its ships and vital supplies, has simply vanished. How is this possible? The answer lies with a man who spent his life making the impossible happen. To understand this incredible story, we need to go back in time. London, late 19th century. The Egyptian theatre is packed. On stage, a man makes an elephant disappear before an astonished audience. This is John Neville Maskelyne, Jasper's grandfather. The Maskelynes weren't ordinary magicians, they were the royalty of British illusionism. While other children played with lead soldiers, young Jasper was learning to manipulate reality itself. In the shadows of the Victorian theatre, among velvet curtains and secret mechanisms, young Jasper absorbed lessons that would one day help save thousands of lives. His playground, the backstage full of mirrors, trapdoors and smoke machines, his toys, ropes, pulleys and optical illusions. But destiny had a much larger stage in store for him than the family theatre. His greatest trick wouldn't be making an elephant disappear, but hiding entire military bases from Hitler's eyes. "1940. Europe is in flames. France conquered, Poland subjugated. Great Britain is the last resistance against the Nazi war machine. It's at this moment that Jasper Maskelyne makes a decision that would change his life, and possibly the course of the war. He trades his elegant performance suit for a military uniform. Picture the scene, an austere room in the war ministry. Veteran officers, faces hardened by years of battle, listen skeptically as a theatre magician proposes using stage tricks against Hitler. "Ridiculous," say some. "Absurd," shout others, until Maskelyne asks for 30 minutes and a few simple materials. What happens next leaves even the most skeptical officers speechless. With only canvas, wood and paint, Maskelyne does something extraordinary. He makes an entire military bunker disappear from aerial view. Not a miniature model, a real bunker made of solid concrete. Sound of gasps and murmurs. "Gentlemen," he says to the astonished officers, "if I can do this with a bunker in 30 minutes, imagine what I can do with an entire army in a few weeks." The silence in the room is deafening. In a matter of minutes, Maskelyne goes from crazy magician to secret weapon. But a magician alone doesn't win a war. Maskelyne needs a team. And what a team! Sound of a creaking door, various footsteps. Picture the scene. A secret workshop on the outskirts of Cairo. A carpenter who can turn plywood into Sherman tanks. A painter capable of making the desert look like the sea. An electrician who can create false moonlight. A cinema special effects expert. Even a toy maker. This wasn't an ordinary military unit. It was the Magic Gang, possibly the most peculiar team in all of World War II. Sound of hammers, saws, and intense work. While other soldiers marched with rifles, the Magic Gang marched with brushes, hammers, and miles of electrical wire. Their weapons, creativity and illusion. The port of Alexandria was a priority target for the Luftwaffe. Every night, German bombers crossed the Mediterranean to destroy it. The situation was desperate, until Maskelyne had an insane idea. "If we can't defend the port," he said, "let's move it." The Magic Gang worked day and night. Miles of lights were installed in an empty bay, miles away. Strategically positioned mirrors reflected moonlight. Artificial smoke created the illusion of port activity. Meanwhile, the real port was completely darkened. Where once there was a bustling port, now there was only darkness. Night after night, German bombers dropped tons of explosives in the wrong place. The real port continued to function, protected by the greatest illusion ever created. But Maskelyne's greatest trick was yet to come. Alamein, 1942, the turning point of the war in North Africa. The challenge: hide an entire army in the desert. Not hundreds of men, tens of thousands. Not dozens of tanks, over 1,000. The solution was as brilliant as it was audacious. During the day, real tanks were disguised as supply trucks using wooden structures. At night, supply trucks looked like menacing tanks. But that wasn't all. The Magic Gang created a complete phantom force. 2,000 fake tanks made of wood and canvas. Entire camps that didn't exist. An illusion so perfect that even German reconnaissance photos were fooled. When Rommel, the desert fox, finally realized the trick, it was too late. The army he thought was small and vulnerable was, in fact, an overwhelming force. The greatest magic trick in military history had worked. How do you make a 30-ton tank disappear in broad daylight? The answer lies in the tiniest details. Each illusion was a masterpiece of psychological engineering. The Magic Gang knew that the human eye looks for specific patterns. An aerial observer searches for shadows, tank track marks, metallic reflections, so they manipulated each of these elements. False shadows were painted in the wrong direction. Track marks were created with special rollers. Reflections were eliminated with special coverings made from desert materials. But the true genius was in the simplicity. A real tank could be transformed into a harmless truck with just 3 men and 30 minutes of work. Each trick had its own ingenuity. To create a fake military camp, empty tents lit from within, with cardboard cutout shadows moved by fans, creating the illusion of soldiers moving about. To simulate vehicle movement at night, small lamps on curved tracks, powered by toy motors, making it appear as if entire convoys were in motion. To fool aerial photographers, giant screens painted with false shadows, creating the illusion of depth where there was nothing. But like every great magic story, the truth is shrouded in mystery. In 1949, Maskelyne published Magic Top Secret. The book caused a sensation and controversy. Some historians question how much of the story is real, how much is exaggerated. Military records are fragmented. Many documents remain classified to this day. Witnesses give conflicting accounts. But perhaps this is exactly what Maskelyne wanted. After all, what's the first rule of magic? Never reveal all your secrets. What we know for certain is that war was never the same after Maskelyne. His revolutionary techniques of camouflage and military deception are studied to this day. From modern battlefields to contemporary special operations, the legacy of the magician who fooled Hitler lives on. Because Maskelyne proved something extraordinary. Sometimes the greatest weapon isn't a tank or a plane, but the ability to make your enemy see exactly what you want them to see. So the next time you see a magician on stage making a rabbit disappear, remember that there was a time when magic wasn't just entertainment, it was a weapon of war. And its greatest practitioner didn't perform tricks for applause, but to save lives. Jasper Maskelyne, the man who turned war into his greatest stage and proved that sometimes the best way to win a battle is to make your enemy believe in an illusion. This was just one of the extraordinary stories that changed the course of World War II. If you want to discover more secrets like this, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we'll reveal how a group of artists created a phantom army that fooled Hitler not once, but several times, because sometimes the most incredible stories of war are those that no one should see.